up in the club. That nigga shot the club up, nigga. And then, trying to send him some Jordans and some weed and trying to play funny. Bow! He shot niggas, but yo, that nigga busts his guns. So I believe him.
I think you should just stay in your place, brother. You shouldn't even speak on that type of lifestyle because you're not living that type of life.
What started as a simple tweet about leaving the streets behind has now escalated into something serious that might leave a goofy rapper wet up, with Pooh Shiesty sending his goons after Blue. When rappers with real street ties and actual gang connections start going at each other's necks, things can get deadly real quick. We're talking about two dudes who ain't just rapping about the life. They really live it. And when real street figures with armies of nothing but crash doomas behind them start beefing on social media, history shows us it rarely stays online. Let's break down how this whole situation spiraled out of control and why. Industry insiders are saying this beef might end in bloodshed. To understand how we got here, we got to go back to where it all started with 21 Savage and his controversial _the streets movement that sent shockwaves through the rap community. C21 was doing his promo run for his latest album when he decided to tweet those 3 words that would spark a whole chain reaction across the rap game. But this wasn't just some random tweet from a rapper having a moment of clarity. 21 had a calculated line behind it, and it was all about business. The Atlanta rapper was trying to get all the city's biggest names to squash their beefs and fix their problems, specifically targeting the whole young thug and gunner situation that had been tearing the city apart. Now, here's where it gets interesting and shows you how fake this industry really is. The same record labels, media outlets, and industry figures that tried to blackball Gunna by calling him a rat and pushing that snitch narrative were now suddenly wanting to work with him again. Why the sudden change of heart? Because they saw bro was doing better numbers without them, pulling in millions of streams. And now, everybody wanted a piece of that success. 21 Savage knew exactly what he was doing with that tweet. He was positioning himself as the peacemaker and the voice of reason while also promoting his album and trying to get that gunner collaboration that could bring in serious money for both artists. It was a smart business move disguised as street wisdom, and it worked because it got everybody talking about 21 Savage right when his album was dropping. That's when Pooh Shiesty decided to jump on the bandwagon and follow 21's lead. The Memphis rapper, who's known for being the CEO of one of the most dangerous gangs in his city called Choa Gang with over 70 members, posted on his Instagram story saying, "The streets, too." Now, for somebody like Pooh Shiesty to say that, it was absolutely shocking because this dude literally built his whole career and reputation off being connected to the streets of Memphis. We're talking about a dude who came up in one of the most violent cities in America, where the murder rate is consistently among the highest in the nation. Pooh Shiesty didn't just rap about gang life. He was living it, leading it, and profiting from it. His whole brand was built on being that authentic street figure that fans could look up to as the real deal. So when he posted, "Fuck the streets," it sent shockwaves through his own organization and confused his fan base. But Blueface wasn't having none of it. The California rapper saw what was happening and called out all these rappers for following this trend like sheep. He started dissing them on social media, basically saying they were being fake and hypocritical. Interviewed, Blueface knew that most of these dudes saying, "Fuck the streets" were the same ones who use street credibility to build their careers and fan bases. He saw right through the underscore and wasn't afraid to call it out. Blueface's point was valid. How are you going to spend years rapping about being in the streets, leading gangs, moving weight, and handling business, then suddenly flip and say, "Fuck the streets" just because it's trendy? It looked like these rappers were just following whatever 21 Savage said without thinking about how it made them look to their own people. At first, Pooh Shiesty ignored Blueface's disses completely. He didn't respond, didn't acknowledge them, and kept posting like nothing happened. But if you were paying attention to the details, you could see the signs that something was brewing underneath the surface. Pooh Shiesty started posting stories playing Call of Duty with NLE Choa, and anybody who knows the game knows that NLE Choa and Blueface got serious problems with each other. The beef PYN NLE Choa and Blueface goes way back and involves some real street politics. These ain't just two rappers who don't like each other's music. There's real animosity there that stems from disrespect and territorial issues. So when Pooh Shiesty started showing love to NLE Choa publicly, posting them gaming together and chopping it up, Blueface knew exactly what was up. It was a clear message that Pooh Shiesty was picking sides. And it wasn't Blueface's side. The gaming sessions weren't just casual fun between two rappers. They were strategic moves. In the streets, who you associate with sends messages. And Pooh Shiesty was sending a clear message that he was aligned with Blueface's enemies. This is how street politics work. You don't always have to say something directly to communicate your position. Sometimes your actions speak louder than words. The situation stayed quiet for a few weeks after that with both sides, seemingly moving on to other things. Fans thought maybe the whole thing would blow over, like most social media beefs do. But then everything changed when Pooh Shiesty posted another Instagram story that completely flipped the script and reignited the whole situation. This time, instead of saying _the streets, he posted I am the streets, basically laking back everything he said just weeks before and doubling down on his street identity. The post was accompanied by some hard imagery and music that reinforced his gangster persona, making it clear that he wasn't backing down from who he was. Now, this move right here showed everybody that Pooh Shiesty was either feeling serious pressure from his crew for going soft, or was setting up something bigger. When you're the head of a gang with 70 members and you suddenly start talking about leaving the streets, that can create major problems within your own organization. Gang members don't want to hear their leader talking about going legitimate when they're still out there risking their lives and freedom for the organization. So posting I am the streets was Pooh Shiesty's way of reasserting his position and letting everybody know he wasn't going nowhere. It was damage control for his reputation within Choa gang and a message to his enemies that he was still the same dangerous dude they knew him to be. But it also made him look indecisive and weak to outsiders who saw him flip-flopping on his position. But Blueface was watching every move and he wasn't about to let that slide. As soon as he saw that story, he took it straight to Twitter and posted, "Nah dog, we seen what you said already. The streets traumatized, buddy." That tweet was pure disrespect on multiple levels. Blueface was basically calling Pooh Shiesty out for being wishy-washy and not standing on what he said. The word traumatized was especially cutting because it implied that Pooh Shiesty was so shook by the streets that he didn't know what he wanted. For somebody who claims to be the CEO of a major gang and built his whole career on being fearless, that's the kind of disrespect that cuts deep. It's questioning his mental state, his leadership, and his authenticity, all in one word. Blueface's tweet went viral immediately with fans and other rappers weighing in on the situation. Some people thought Blueface was right to call out the hypocrisy, while others felt like he was starting unnecessary drama. But what most people didn't understand was that this wasn't just rap beef anymore. This was real street politics playing out on social media. The tweet also showed that Blueface had been paying close attention to everything Pooh Shiesty was doing. He remembered the original _the streets post. He saw the flip to I am the streets and he was calling out the contradiction publicly. This level of attention and the public call out meant that Pooh Shiesty couldn't just ignore it like he did the previous dices. Now, here's where things get really dangerous. Pooh Shiesty hasn't responded publicly to Blueface's tweet. But anybody who knows how street politics work understands that silence doesn't mean nothing's happening. In fact, it usually means the opposite. When real street dudes stop talking and start moving in silence, that's when you should be worried. Pooh Shie ain't just some rapper playing gangster for the cameras like a lot of these industry. This man really runs Choa Gang in Memphis, one of the most violent cities in America, where the murder rate consistently ranks in the top 5 nationally. We're talking about an organization with over 70 members who are known for handling their business when disrespected. These ain't studio gangsters. These are real street soldiers who have put in work and earned their stripes. The fact that Blueface called their leader traumatized on a public platform with millions of followers is the kind of disrespect that usually gets handled with more than just words. In street culture, your reputation is everything. And when somebody questions your mental state and leadership publicly, it can't go unanswered without looking weak to your own people. What makes this situation even more volatile is that both of these dudes got real street credibility and connections. Blueface might be from California, but he's connected to some serious people out there. And he's not backing down from nobody. He's shown time and time again that he's willing to stand on his words and face whatever consequences come with them. Meanwhile, Pooh Shiesty got an army behind him in Memphis, and they don't play when it comes to protecting their reputation and their leader honor. Industry insiders who know both camps are saying there's already been some movement behind Thesi. Word on the street is that there might be some money on Blueface's head, though nothing's been confirmed and both sides are keeping things quiet. But when you got gang leaders feeling disrespected on social media, things tend to escalate quickly from online beef to real-life consequences. The scary part is how this whole situation mirrors other beefs that ended tragically. We've seen too many times how social media disrespect between rappers with real street ties can lead to violence and death. The difference between regular rap beef and what's happening here is that both Pooh Shiesty and Blueface got actual organizations behind them that are willing to move when their leaders get disrespected. What started as 21 Savage trying to promote his album and get rappers to leave the streets alone has now created a situation where two real street figures are at odds with each other. The irony is thick. A movement that was supposed to be about getting away from street violence has potentially created more of it. The fact that Pooh Shiesty went from saying, "Fuck the streets," to "I am the streets," shows how much pressure he was probably getting from his own people. When you're the head of a gang and you start talking about leaving that life, it can be seen as weakness or abandonment by your crew. Gang members who are still out there risking everything don't want to hear their leader talking about going legitimate. So, Pooh Shiesty had to flip back to maintain his position and keep his organization together. But that flip gave Blueface the ammunition to call him out and question his authenticity. Now we got a situation where neither side can really back down without losing face. Blueface can't take back what he said because that would make him look weak to his own people and his fans. And Pooh Shiesty can't let the disrespect slide, because that would undermine his authority with Choa Gang. This is exactly the kind of situation that leads to tragedy in the hip-hop community. When pride and street reputation get involved, logic often goes out the window. We've seen it happen too many times. Talented young men with everything to live for, throwing their lives away over social media disrespect and street politics. As the situation continues to develop, fans and industry watchers are hoping it doesn't escalate to violence. But the reality is that when you got real street figures with actual gangs behind them going at each other publicly, the chances of it staying just online are slim. History has shown us that these situations rarely de-escalate on their own. The saddest part is that both of these dudes got talent and potential to make it far in the music industry without having to resort to street politics. Pooh Shiesty has been building a solid career with hit songs and a growing fan base. And Blueface has shown he can create viral moments and stay relevant in a competitive industry. But once pride and street reputation get involved, all of that potential can disappear in an instant. What we're witnessing is exactly why 21 Savage said the streets in the first place, because this lifestyle and mentality leads to destruction. The streets don't love nobody back, and they definitely don't care about rap careers, record deals, or potential. All they care about is respect and retaliation, and that cycle never ends well. All we can do is watch and hope that both sides realize they got too much to lose to let this escalate further. But knowing how these things usually go when real street politics get involved, we might be in for a dangerous ride. The streets are talking, and when Pooh Shiesty sends his goons after Blueface, it's getting deadly. It's getting deadly.